good to have you back on the weekend roundup. How have things been since we last spoke to you?
It's been a while, hasn't it? So it's been a good few weeks really overall. The middle part of the season is where a lot's decided in terms of are you pushing for the top half or battling for it in the bottom half. But yeah, overall it's been a good patch for the whole club, I think.
And obviously talking particularly about the team that you're involved in on a Saturday the 1st, there was definitely a bit of a run of momentum there, which was great to see.
Definitely, we got on a really good winning run, and I think it surprised a few other teams in the league, which is always nice. Particularly the Bedminster result away, to go there against those guys and beat them quite convincingly is always pleasing. Saturday didn't quite go to plan, but I mean we were a little bit light on the ground, and what's nice is that it's very much we can brush it under the carpet. It's okay if players don't perform every week. That's to be expected. It's just about how do we try and make that happen as little as possible. And it's a nice position to be in when it's not really costing you your league position and you're not scrapping out at the bottom when that happens. So not a great day, but definitely not one to dwell on. And it's nice to be able to forget about it, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking back at that Saturday, so there were 2 wins from the 6 games. So great wins for our seconds, really important win for our seconds against Malmesbury, a great win for our 6s, particularly for captain Wayne Young with his wickets, runs and captaining the team to a victory as well. So brilliant to see. And we're definitely moving into the crunch part of the season now, aren't we, Jake? Moving into the last month. So loads to play for, loads must be going on in terms of preparation for these games.
Definitely. I think most teams are where we want them to be. The 2s and 3s are scrapping it out a little bit, but the 2s had a really good win, as you said, on Saturday, which helps them. And the 3s are not in relegation zone; they're sitting a few points above it. So 2s and 3s are still fighting hard, but I'd like to think that they're in a better position than other teams are in their leagues respectively. And then the 1s, it's just a case of, well, what can we target, and if we can continuously and consistently get our strongest 11 out for the remainder of the season, then we could be pushing for a top 2, top 3 finish. We're sitting in 4th comfortably. We managed to lose on Saturday and still remain in 4th. And a couple of results going either way can put you up or down a couple of places. But if we're all fully fit and turning out for the side, then we can definitely push for a 2nd place finish, I think.
Tom, you're back on the weekend roundup again, but this time talking about a win for the 2nd team. Tell us all about it.
I know, I can't believe it. I just checked out the window as well and pigs are flying. I can't believe it. Played 12, 1-3. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's good, mate. It's good to get some proper points on the board as well, to be fair. It's been a long time coming for us. We've been plodding away, getting real close, getting bad as well, to be fair. But it's nice to get some big points on the board and try and drag ourselves at that bottom 2. I think we're way better we're a better side than to get relegated. So it's nice to confirm that with a big win against Malmesbury.
And opening up the baton again, so enjoying it at the top of the order.
Yeah, mate. Me and Makers, another big partnership. I think we put on 90 odd. We were really motivated to win the game as well. We were really fired up before the game. It was a good warm up. We bowled really well, and a few of their boys had a few things to say at tees as well. So we made sure we put them to the sword, and there's no nicer feeling really, to be fair.
Now, Tom, you've been on here so often, we're actually running out of things to talk about. Does that mean surely at least batter of the year, if not player of the year, and 2s is guaranteed now, isn't it?
Oh, it's criminal if I don't get it, to be fair. I might just swing by the trophy man now and pick it up.
Who should we be looking out for? Who's your biggest competition, do you reckon?
Is there any? No, I'm joking, to be fair. I don't know. People have done well in spells. Like, people have done some really good things. I wouldn't say I've been as consistent as I'd like to be. I've just happened to come off with a couple of good 50s and that sort of stuff. But Silky's chipped in with a good 80 away at Malmesbury. We should have won that game. Hickey had an unbelievable innings at our place against Purton. Again, couldn't quite get us over the line, but it was awesome. Josh Smith's peeled off runs as well whenever he's dropped down and put his hand up again to be back in the first team. So I just happen to be the person who's doing well at the top of the order. Like Alex has played some really good innings. People are doing really well with the ball as well, to be fair. So it's kind of, there's performances all around the team. And like I said, on our day, we can beat anyone in the league. So it is frustrating that we haven't got more wins on the board. But like I said, when we get some big points on the board, it just makes it sweeter. It would be nice to pick in some honours at the end. But to be fair, I think first and foremost, I want to make sure we don't get relegated. that's kind of in front of my mind at the moment.
Back on the weekend roundup, 64 for you on Saturday, but a defeat to Potton. So how do you sum up your weekend?
Personally, it was pretty good. I enjoyed batting. I like opening, which has been a recurring theme this year, which I'm pretty happy about. But yeah, it kind of sucked to lose. It was a very hard pitch to bat on, and I think we went into the halftime thinking that we had a pretty defendable total on the board. It was only 155, I think, but the pitch was so two-paced, and it was quite hard to get it off the square. So yeah, we're pretty happy with that. And then the Potton batsmen are pretty good. Ironically, we got their overseas out first ball. He was the one we were worried about. He didn't take any wickets, and we got him out first ball, so that's pretty good. But yeah, they just they batted on the pitch a lot better than we did, basically.
When we say about opening up there, is that your preference to go out there without any waiting around and start out as you mean to go on?
Yeah, I hate waiting around. I also am quite a slow batsman when I start off, and that's how I like it. So I find when I go in lower down the order, I'm always in two minds. I don't really know whether I should be taking risks or not. Where my preference is to play the ball on its merits and defend quite a lot, which doesn't really work when you're going in at 6 with 40 overs on the board.
Great stuff. And then we talked about having a bit of confidence when last time we caught up. Obviously after Saturday, that must still be building and still feeling good when you're playing at the moment.
Yeah. The biggest change I made for me on Saturday was I wore contact lenses for the first time in 4 years. Turns out I'm actually quite blind, and it's amazing the difference it makes when you can see the ball.
Wayne, brilliant to have you on the weekend roundup. Now Saturday, captain, 5 wickets, 72 runs. Have you ever had a better day on a cricket pitch?
Probably not. Although at one point in a huddle, Jack brought up North Bradley, which was a good day, but many years ago. And the opposition was saying, "We're dubbing me the bald old bloke." So goodness knows. Although I will say I knew more of the Laycock people than I knew my own people, to be honest. Or if not, pretty equal. Having come across plenty of them in the past and played alongside several of them in the past. So it was, yeah. I think you're probably right, though, Woody. It's probably one to remember.
Absolutely, definitely. So talk us through the game, Wayne. Was it all plain sailing as you went through the game?
You know, looking back on it, Woody, I think it was just one of those days. I did say I didn't know some of my own players, but it was a good team game. It really was. Well, I mentioned Trev. He bowled his 9 beautifully. Liam, who I'd not met before, in fact, his figures were even better than Trev's. In fact, it was quite ironic, really, because I got the wickets, but Trev did all the work, really. He bowled his maidens and what have you. The other thing I'd like to touch on was the lad I opened with, Piers. I'd met him. I played with him once, and he just had this refreshing approach. If it was straight, he'd stop it. Anything else was going. And some of the sixes would have been a 6 on any boundary, really. He did splendidly, really. He got 50. And there was an under 15, his first adult game. and he opened bowling,
Brilliant.
and he did fine as well. So lots to applaud.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to hear new players being welcomed as well. Did you enjoy the captaincy, Wayne?
I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's I'm happy to do it, and I don't know. It was easier. It was nice having Trev to lean on, because sometimes I don't know about. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but sometimes you can just kind of freeze. You just think, "Quite, what am I going to do now? How can we turn this around?" Happily, we didn't get anything like that, really. It just all seemed to flow nicely. So I'm happy to do it, happy to help out.
So Jake, looking ahead, 6 games again on Saturday, like we said, moving towards that last month of the season, and some big games in there. The showcase game, welcoming Bath at home in the first team. So we've got firsts and fourths and 6ths at home. 6 against local rivals Biddeston, which is always a good game, and then our 2s and 3s and 5ths on the road. So moving into that last month, Jake, is there anything in particular that teams are working on to get themselves ready in training?
Yeah, a couple of things. I think by now, individual people have identified what's working for them and what's not working for them at the moment, on game days. So it's just a case of keeping focus, not losing your head, and getting into old bad habits. And I think for the bowlers in particular, especially now that the wickets are coming into the best time of year for them, as in if you're a batter, you normally enjoy August. For the bowlers, that means it's even more important to be hitting those right lengths. Something I've talked about a lot with seamers in particular in the last 3-4 weeks is that actually the line is almost less important. It's more about the length. If the length is good, then that ball shouldn't be flying to the boundary. Whereas if you're pitching it too full or too short, the freebie shot will go for 4, especially with outfields racing away like they do in August. So just nothing new, but probably more sort of even more important to be consistent and do the basics right at this stage in the season.
Great message for the bowlers, and good luck on Saturday, Jake.
Thanks very much.